Hello and welcome to the Important Site series. In this series, we are discussing all the environmental important sites across the states in India. So today, our topic of discussion is the important environmental sites in the state of Assam. Now, today's session is of great importance because Assam is such a state which has one of the highest number of the important environmental sites, be it the biosphere reserves, the natural heritage sites, the national parks, the tiger reserves, the Ramsar sites. So when we discuss about the important environmental sites, that includes the tiger reserves, the elephant reserves, the biosphere reserves, which Assam has two, Ramsar wetland sites. Assam has one Ramsar wetland site. The World Heritage sites, that is the Natural World Heritage site. So in Assam, we have two such UNESCO World Heritage Natural sites. Then we have Biodiversity Heritage sites that are declared under the Biological Diversity Act of 2002. The marine protected areas, there are none in Assam because Assam is not a coastal state. There are national parks, wildlife sanctuaries, conservation reserves, community reserves. All these are declared under the Wildlife Protection Act of 1972. Before starting our discussion on the important environmental sites, it is with utmost pleasure that I announce you that we at Shikara Academy are launching our foundation course for the students, for the aspirants who are preparing for UPSC CSE 2026 or 27. This is a complete prep preparation batch and your path to Labasna, because in this course we are providing you live and recorded classes, live classes that you can watch again and again. The current affairs coverage, the CSAT preparation, subject-wise full-length test series, study materials and resources, and answer writing practice with a special focus on the essay writing. This wholesome package, this entire package for your GS preparation, this you will get at just rupees 75,000. The course validity is for 12 months and the course starts on 4th September. Book your seats now. Similarly, for the aspirants who are preparing for Telangana PSC Group 1, Group 2, we have a combined one batch for these two examinations, in which we will also be providing you with live and recorded classes, complete Telangana and national current affairs coverage, approximately 400 classes, subject-wise full-length test series, simplified study material, answer writing and essay writing practice to boost your mains preparation. All this at an all-inclusive price of rupees 50,000. The course validity is for 12 months and the batch starts on 4th September. Now, starting with our discussion on the important environmental sites in the state of Assam, the first site that we have is the Manas Biosphere Reserve. So, we have two biosphere reserves. One is the Manas Biosphere Reserve. It is situated along the Indo-Bhutan border. Okay, so here we have Bhutan, and on the Indian side we have the Manas National Park. On the Bhutanese side we have the Royal Manas National Park. Okay, so it lies in the Himalayan foothills. It's spread across the districts of Baksa, Chirang, Udalguri, and Korkhajar. It is bounded by the Manas River. Okay, so the important when we discuss about the geographical features, so the water bodies and the rivers are the major geographical feature that we have to keep in mind when we are preparing for any of the environmental sites. Okay, so here the Manas River is important, which is a tributary of the Brahmaputra on the north. It is a northern tributary of Brahmaputra. The terrain is alluvial grassland because of the deposition of the alluvial soil because of the Brahmaputra River. Low alluvial terraces, forested foothills. It is adjacent to Bhutan's Royal Manas National Park, and the altitude ranges from 61 meters to 110 meters above the sea level. The type of vegetation that we have is the semi-evergreen forest, and the vegetation includes the East Himalayan mixed moist and dry deciduous forest. The type of wildlife here is it is known for its big four wildlife, that is the presence of tigers, pygmy hog, Indian rhino, as well as Asiatic elephants. And all of these are the kind of flagship species in this Manas Biosphere Reserve. The other animal biodiversity includes the wild buffalo, golden langur, clouded leopard, and capped langur. And it has over 450 bird species, including the Bengal florican, the great hornbill, and the swamp francolin. The significance of this site is that it is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Okay, so in Manas Biosphere Reserve, we have the Manas Wildlife Sanctuary. So this Manas Wildlife Sanctuary that comes under Manas Biosphere Reserve, this is a declared UNESCO World Heritage Site, a natural UNESCO World Heritage Site. Then this entire Biosphere Reserve, that is the Manas Biosphere Reserve, is a UNESCO Biosphere Reserve, and it is also comes under the Project Tiger. So we have the Manas Tiger Reserve as well. So this Manas Wildlife Sanctuary, Manas Tiger Reserve, all are encompassed in the Manas Biosphere Reserve. It is also an important elephant reserve under the Project Elephant. So here we also have the Manas Elephant Reserve, and the important tribal groups or the important communities that live in the Manas Biosphere Reserve are the Bodo tribes, along with the Assamese and Nepalese ethnic groups. The second, we have the Dibru Saikhowa Biosphere Reserve, a quite recent biosphere reserve. It is situated on the northeast side of the state of Assam. So it is situated in the upper Assam, spanning the Dibrugarh and the Tinsukia districts. It lies in the floodplains of the Brahmaputra and Lohit River. So Brahmaputra flows like this in the state of Assam. So it lies in the floodplains of the Brahmaputra River. And the northern boundary formed by Brahmaputra and southern boundary formed by the Dibru River. So there are two important rivers that are forming the boundary of this Dibru Saikhowa Biosphere Reserve. One is the Brahmaputra in the north and the Dibru River in the south. The geographical features include, because it lies in the floodplains of the Brahmaputra River, so it will have an alluvial floodplains, and region is prone to frequent flooding and course changes of these two rivers. The type of vegetation that it has is the tropical moist deciduous forest and semi-evergreen forest with extensive grassland and riverine vegetation. And there are also some swamp vegetation that is locally known as the beels. So this is also a point to note. Then discussing about the wildlife in this Dibru Saikhowa Biosphere Reserve, it is known for the feral horses, which is has a unique population in Assam. So the unique wildlife here is the feral horses. The other mammals here includes the tiger, leopard, Asiatic water buffalo, capped langur, and gangetic dolphin. And it is important aquatic fauna includes the river dolphins as well as diver fish species. The significance is that it is identified as a biodiversity hotspot in the Indo-Burma region. So this entire Northeast India, the Purvanchal Hills, along with the Myanmar, there is the Indo-Burma region that is considered as a wildlife hotspot or biodiversity hotspot. And it is one of the most important bird areas in the Assam. So it is also an important bird area. It is important habitat for the Gangetic River dolphin, which is the national aquatic animal of India. So please note that the Gangetic River dolphin is not limited to the river Ganga itself. Okay, some other streams, some other rivers in the northeastern part of the country also has the population of the Gangetic dolphin, Gangetic River dolphin. The local significance for communities, the important communities here are the Mishing, Moran, Motok, and the Tea tribes. Then, after discussing the two biosphere reserve, that is the Dibro Saikhowa as well as the Manas Biosphere Reserve, now let's discuss the important national parks that is in the state of Assam. First, we have the most important national park, that is the Kaziranga National Park. So it lies in the central Assam in the floodplains of the Brahmaputra River, and it spreads across the district like Golghat, Nagaon, Sonitpur, and Karbi Anglong. It lies on the south bank of the Brahmaputra River. So please make a note of this point that the Kaziranga National Park, the river Brahmaputra forms the northern boundary of this Kaziranga National Park. The landscape includes the alluvial floodplains, the tall elephant grasses, and the Karbi Anglong Hills. Okay, so Karbi Anglong Hills lies somewhere here in the state of Assam. So lies to the south and acts as the natural boundary and the wildlife corridor. So the important geographical features here include the Brahmaputra River, the presence of Brahmaputra River in the north, and the Karbi Anglong Hills in the south. The type of vegetation here is the tall, wet alluvial grassland and the tropical moist deciduous forest. Discussing about the wildlife, it is famous for the largest population of the one-horned Indian rhinoceros. So in India, we have the one-horned rhino and the Kaziranga National Park. It is best known for hosting the largest or the greatest population of the one-horned rhinoceros. And the other flagship species here includes the tigers because there is also the Kaziranga Tiger Reserve, the Asiatic elephant. Here we have Kaziranga Karbi Anglong Elephant Reserve as well, wild water buffalo, swamp deer, and there is rich bird life. It is also a UNESCO World Heritage Site. So the two UNESCO World Heritage Site natural sites in Assam are first is the Manas Wildlife Sanctuary and second is the Kaziranga National Park. And it is also an important tiger reserve and Ramsar wetland site. The key conservation area within the Indo-Burma biodiversity hotspot and plays a critical role in conserving the floodplain ecosystem in the Brahmaputra. The local communities or the tribal groups here includes the Missing, the Karbis, and the Assamese people that depend on the surrounding ecosystem. Then second, we have the important national park that is the Nameri National Park. It is situated in the Sonitpur district of Assam and lies on the foothills of the eastern Himalayas along the Assam-Arunachal Pradesh border. So here we have the state of Arunachal Pradesh and it lies along the Assam-Arunachal Pradesh border. And it forms an ecological continuum with the Pake Tiger Reserve in the Arunachal Pradesh. So in Arunachal Pradesh, we have this Pake Tiger Reserve. The geographical features here includes the Jia Bhorial River, which is a tributary of Brahmaputra, which flows through this park. The Jia Bhorial River. The terrain includes the semi-evergreen forest, and the elevation is 80 to 225 meters. The type of vegetation that here is the tropical and subtropical moist broadleaf forest and riverine grassland and patches of open scrubs. The important wildlife here includes the tigers because we have also the Nameri Tiger Reserve, the leopard, Asiatic elephant, gaur, sambar, and wild boar. It is noted for the white-winged wood duck, which is the state bird of the Assam. Please make note of this white-winged wood duck. The other birds includes the great hornbill, the red hornbill, the blackstock, and the ibisbill. The aquatic fauna includes the golden, very important golden mahshir because UPSC has asked the questions about golden mahshirs in the past, which is endangered freshwater fish, also known as the tiger of the Himalayan rivers. Please make note of this about golden mahashirs. It is part of the Nameri Tiger Reserve that is declared under Project Tiger and is the critical transboundary habitat with the Pake Tiger Reserve. So we have on this Assami side, we have the Nameri Tiger Reserve and on the Arunachal side, we have the K Tiger Reserve. And both of them form a transboundary habitat for tiger population. It is important for conservation of aquatic biodiversity, especially the golden mahshirs. And the local ethnic presence includes the missing groups as well as the Assamese tribal communities. Then we have the third national park that is the Dihing Patkai National Park. It is situated in the Dibrugarh and Tinsukia district of Assam, that is in the northeastern part of the Assam state. It lies on the foothills of the eastern Himalayas and is part of the larger Dihing Patkai Elephant Reserve. So we have the Dihing Patkai National Park and the Dihing Patkai Elephant Reserve. It is characterized by low-lying hills and foothill forest. The important rivers here includes the Dihing River, which is a tributary of Brahmaputra and its various streams. So the national park has got its name from the Dihing River. The type of vegetation, it is known as the Amazon of the East for its intense dense rainforest. Okay, so because of the presence of dense rainforest, tropical rainforests, it is also known as the Amazon of the East. Okay, the tropical wetland, evergreen forest, and semi-evergreen forest are there, and it has high floral diversity with orchids and ferns. So, two things to keep in mind that it is also known as the Amazon of the East and has high diversity of orchids and ferns. Now, discussing about the wildlife, the mammals here includes the Asiatic elephant because it is also an elephant reserve, the clouded leopard, tiger leopard, the hulok gibbon, which is India's only ape. The only ape species found in India is the hulok gibbon and is found in this Dihing Patkai National Park. The cap langur and slow loris. It has high butterfly diversity due to the evergreen ecosystem. It was declared as a national park in the year 2021. Earlier, it was a wildlife sanctuary. So quite recently, it was declared a national park. It is part of the elephant reserve and crucial for elephant corridors in the eastern Himalayas. It is important biodiversity hotspot in the Indo-Burma region. The local ethnic communities here includes the Tai Phake, the Singpho, the Khamti, and the Assamese communities. Then we have the Orang National Park, that is earlier also formerly known as the Rajiv Gandhi National Park. It is situated on the north bank of the Brahmaputra River. So River is flowing to the south of this park, and it lies on the north of Brahmaputra River in the Darang and Sonitpur district of Assam. It lies between the Kaziranga and Manas landscapes. The geographical features here includes the alluvial floodplains because it is on the floodplains of the Brahmaputra River. The Belseri River forms the western boundary, and the Dhansari River, which is a tributary of Brahmaputra, lies nearby. So, three important rivers are there. That is the Brahmaputra River, the Belseri River, as well as the Dhansari River. It has alluvial floodplain grassland with tall elephant grasses, just like the Kaziranga National Park. It has riverine forest and moist deciduous forest, and the wetlands, which are known as the beels. So, beel in Assam means a wetland, and in Assam we have one important, very important Ramsar wetland site, that is the Deepor Beel, that we'll be discussing in few time. It is known as the mini Kaziranga. So the national park that is known as mini Kaziranga is the Orang National Park because they have the similar ecosystem and similar kind of landscape. The flagship species here is the one-horned rhinoceros, and these one-horned rhino are having a thriving population. One of the reason that it is known as the mini Kaziranga because in Kaziranga National Park hosts the largest population of the one-horned rhinoceros. The Orang National Park also has a substantial or a great or a large population of the one-horned rhinoceros, and that population is thriving and increasing. The other mammals here includes the tiger, Asiatic elephant, hog deer, wild boar, and civet porcupines. It was declared a national park in the year 1999 and is an important rhino conservation site after the Kaziranga. It serves as a vital wildlife corridor between Kaziranga as well as the Manas. So Manas lies in the north, Kaziranga lies in the south, and in middle we have this Orang National Park. So when we come from north to south, such type of questions can also be asked depending on asking about the location of various national parks. So from north, we have the Manas National Park. In middle, we have the Orang National Park. And in the south, we have the Kaziranga National Park. The important tribal communities here includes the Mishing and Bodo. Then finally, we have the Raimona National Park, which lies near the near the border with the state of West Bengal. So it is in the Kok Kokrajhar district of Assam and lies along the India-Bhutan border. So here we have Bhutan, and the Raimona National Park lies along the India-Bhutan border, contiguous with the Bhutan's Phibso Wildlife Sanctuary. So just like the Manas National Park as well as the Royal Manas National Park, here also on the Assamese side we have the Raimona National Park, and on the Bhutanese side we have the Phibso Wildlife Sanctuary, and it forms a part of the Eastern Himalayan biodiversity hotspot. The landscape here includes the mosaic of grassland, semi-evergreen forest, and riverine tracts. The most important river here is the Sankosh River, the Saralbhanga, as well as the Raimona rivers also flow through this park. So this name of Sankosh River is important for examination. Then in the northern boundary, it has the Indo-Bhutan border, and the southern boundary, the Ripu Reserve Forest. It has a tropical moist deciduous forest. So the type of vegetation is the tropical moist deciduous with semi-evergreen forest and patches of grassland. The trees here are the sal, teak, bamboo, and cane species. Now, this Raimona National Park, discussing about their wildlife, it is very well known for the golden langur, which is endemic and endangered primate and a symbol of the Bodo land or the Bodo people. The other mammals here includes the tigers, clouded leopard, Asiatic elephant, gaur, and wild buffalo. It was declared a national park quite recently in the year 2021, and it is a part of the Manas Tiger Reserve buffer zone, enhancing the connectivity. It is integral to the transboundary Manas Conservation Area. It is inhabited by the Bodo tribe. So the important tribal group here is the Bodo tribe. And it is central to Bodoland's cultural and ecological identity. Then let's discuss one of the most important wildlife sanctuary in the state of Assam. That is the Pobitara Wildlife Sanctuary. So it is situated in the Morigaon district of Assam and lies on the southern bank of the Brahmaputra river. So Brahmaputra is flowing like this, and on the southern bank we have this Pobitora Wildlife Sanctuary. And the geographical features here includes the floodplain ecosystem and the wetlands, that is beels. It is surrounded by agricultural fields and villages. The type of vegetation here is including the alluvial grassland with tall elephant grass, just like the Kaziranga as well as the Orang National Park. It has scattered patches of tropical moist deciduous forest. Now, it is famous for the highest density of one-horned rhinoceros in the world. So, the point that one must keep in mind regarding the Pobitara Wildlife Sanctuary is that it has the highest density of one-horned rhinoceros in the world. The highest or the largest population of one-horned rhinoceros is in the Kaziranga National Park. But looking at the population density of these one-horned rhinoceros, the highest population density is in the Pobitora Wildlife Sanctuary. Other mammals here include the Asiatic elephant, leopard, wild boar, hog deer, and barking deer. It was declared a wildlife sanctuary in the year 1987, and it is also known as Mini Kaziranga. So, the national park that is known as Mini Kaziranga is the Orang National Park, and the wildlife sanctuary that is known as the Mini Kaziranga is the Pobitora Wildlife Sanctuary. And all these, this Orang National Park as well as the Pobitora are known as Mini Kaziranga because of the substantial one-horned rhinoceros population. And it is also an important bird area for migratory and resident birds. The tribal or the local communities here includes the Tiva, the Karbi, and the Assamese villages. Then we have the only Ramsar wetland site that is in the state of Assam, that is the Dipor Beel Ramsar wetland site. Now, Beel we know in Assamese it means the wetland. So it is situated in the Kamrup Metropolitan District, Assam, southwest to the city of Guwahati. And it lies on the south of the Brahmaputra river. So this Dipor Beel lies on the south of Brahmaputra river. It is surrounded by villages and the Rani Gharbanga Reserve Forest in the south. Now, the geographical features of this wetland site includes it is a permanent freshwater lake. So, Deepor Bill is a permanent freshwater lake and is a former channel of the Brahmaputra river. Okay, it receives water from the Bashishta and as well as the Kalmani river, which drains into Brahmaputra via the Khanjan channel. It has seasonal fluctuations in water levels due to monsoon flooding. So, in the monsoon months, there are the water level on this Deepor Bill rises, and in the summer or the drier months, the water level comes down. But it is a permanent freshwater lake. It never fully dries up. The type of vegetation here includes the aquatic vegetation because it is a wetland, and the marshy grasses as well as the hydrophytes dominate the shallow areas. Now, just like the other important Ramsar wetland sites, it is also important for its avian biodiversity, including the migratory birds as well as the resident birds. The aquatic fauna as well as mammals in the adjoining forest includes the elephant herds. It was declared a Ramsar site in the year 2002 and the only Ramsar wetland site in Assam until 2020. And later on, the Kaziranga was also considered as a Ramsar wetland site. It is an important bird area and provides ecosystem services, flood regulation, groundwater recharge, and fisheries. So these are the ecological services that are provided by this Deeporville Ramsar wetland site. Now, just like any other wetland site or the Ramsar wetland site in India, this Deeporville Ramsar wetland site is also threatened. And what are the reasons of threatedness? That is urbanization, increased urbanization, encroachment, railway line, and the industrial pollution. So, the urbanization, encroachment, and pollution are the common factors or the common reasons behind the threatening of these Ramsar wetland sites across the country. Then there are local communities including the Karbi, Bodo, and Assamese villages. Then let's discuss the important biodiversity heritage sites that are declared, that are biodiversity heritage sites are different because they are declared under the Biological Diversity Act of 2002. Okay. So first we have the Majuli Biodiversity Heritage Site. Majuli, we know, is the world's largest riverine island. Okay. So it is a riverine island. That is the entire island. It is an island inside the Brahmaputra River. Okay. Brahmaputra River surrounds this entire island and is also a declared district. So it is situated in the Majuli district of Assam and world's largest river island, formed by the Brahmaputra River and its tributaries, mainly the Subansiri as well as the Kherkutia River. Now, the geographical features of this Majuli Biodiversity Heritage Site includes the low-lying floodplain island, highly prone to annual flooding and erosion. There are numerous wetlands or the beels are there with rich fluvial ecosystem shaped by the Brahmaputra. So, it has great fluvial or alluvial floodplains. Okay, so similarly, the type of vegetation because of the presence of alluvial soil will be the alluvial grasslands and marshy vegetation, and there are abundant aquatic vegetation in wetlands. The avifauna or the important bird biodiversity here includes the migratory and the resident birds, including the storks, pelicans, whistling teals, and open-bill storks. The aquatic fauna includes the fish diversity supported by turtles and amphibians. The significance of this Majuli Biodiversity Heritage Site is that it was declared a Biodiversity Heritage Site in the year 2017 under the Biological Diversity Act of 2002. Now, it is a sacred cultural landscape associated with the Neo-Vaishvanite tradition of the Srimanta Shankara Deva. Okay, so that is its main cultural significance, that for the Neo-Vaishvanite tradition that was propagated or that was spread by Srimanta Shankara Deva. It is inhabited by ethnic groups like the Mishing, Deori, and Sonowal Kachari, as well as the Assamese communities. And it is recognized for its social ecological resilience and cultural ecological linkage. And it is also a candidate for UNESCO World Heritage Site listing. So till now, that status has not been given, but it is a candidate. Then we have the Hajong Tortoise or Hajong Tortoise Lake Heritage Site. It is situated in the Karbi Anglong district and lies in the foothills of the eastern Himalayas near Assam Meghalaya border. So here we have the state of Meghalaya. So the geographical features includes it is a freshwater lake located in the middle of the hilly terrain, and it's a tropical moist deciduous is the vegetation. The aquatic vegetation includes the water lilies, the reeds, sedges, and grasses. The type of vegetation, the type of wildlife here is it is especially known for the tortoise and freshwater turtle diversity, as the name suggests, because in the name itself there is Hajong Tortoise Lake. So that means the flagship species here will be of tortoise and the turtles. The fauna or the bird fauna here includes the migratory and resident water birds like herons, egrets, and ducks. It was declared a biodiversity heritage site in the year 2016 under the Biological Diversity Act of 2002. It is important for conservation of freshwater turtles, tortoise, and many of which are endangered in Assam. And it holds cultural importance for the Hajong tribal community. So the important tribal group or tribal community is the Hajong tribal community, who considers this lake, this entire lake, as a very sacred entity. And it supports local livelihood through fishing and traditional use of forest resources. Then thirdly, we have the Borjoli Wild Rice Site Biodiversity Heritage Site. It is situated in the Biswanath district and lies in the floodplains of the Brahmaputra River. And it is close to agricultural landscape and tea plantation. The geographical features here includes the alluvial floodplain ecosystem with seasonal wetland. It is dominated by wild rice species, from which this entire biodiversity heritage site has got its name from. And this wild rice species is an ancestor of the cultivated rice. So the commercially cultivated rice that we cultivate today, this wild rice species is the predecessor or the ancestor of this rice variety. Now, this entire heritage site is surrounding vegetation includes the marsh grasses, sedges, as well as the aquatic plants. Discussing about the wildlife, it provides habitat for water birds like herons, egrets, and whistling ducks and stork. It is also rich in amphibian population, the fish population, and invertebrates, and acts as a refuge for small mammals like rodents, mongoose, and civets. It was declared a biodiversity heritage site in the year 2020, and it is important for conservation of wild rice genetic diversity. Okay, so the wild variety of rice that is grown in this region, for the conservation of this wild rice genetic diversity, this heritage site is important. It is important for agro biodiversity conservation in Assam. Okay. Then finally, let's discuss about the important elephant reserves that are in the state of Assam, starting with the Solnitpur Elephant Reserve. It is located in the Sonitpur district of Assam and lies along the northern bank of the Brahmaputra River. So Brahmaputra River is flowing like this. So on the northern bank of the Brahmaputra River, we have this Sonitpur Elephant Reserve, and it extends towards the foothills of the Arunachal Pradesh. And here we also have the state of Arunachal Pradesh. It includes forest tracts adjoining the Nameri National Park and the Pakke Tiger Reserve in the Arunachal Pradesh. So in Arunachal Pradesh, we have the Pakke Tiger Reserve, and in Assam, we have the adjacent Nameri National Park. The geographical features includes the landscape with low land tropical forest. The major rivers here is the Jia Bhorial River, the Ghabru River, as well as the Borgang River, which drain into the Brahmaputra. So all these three rivers are the tributaries of the river Brahmaputra. The type of vegetation here includes the tropical moist deciduous and semi-evergreen forest with cane and bamboo breaks in the wetter zones. Now, it is known for the large population of Asiatic elephants and provides a key migratory corridor. So, because it is an elephant reserve, so the flagship species here will be, but obviously it will be the Asiatic elephant. The other mammals here includes the tiger, leopards, wild boar, hog deer, gaur, and capped langur. It was declared an elephant reserve in the year 2003 under Project Elephant, and it is vital elephant corridor connecting Assam with Arunachal Pradesh forest. So it is an important elephant corridor between the state of Assam and Arunachal Pradesh and provides a corridor for elephant population to migrate between these two states. Now, just like any other elephant corridor or the elephant reserve, it helps to reduce the human elephant conflict. And the local ethnic groups that are living in this elephant reserve is the Mishing, Bodo, and the Nepali settlers. Then secondly, we have the Kaziranga Karbi Anglong Biosphere Reserve. It spans across the Karbi Anglong and the Golaghat district of Assam and lies on the south of the Kaziranga National Park. So in the north, we have Kaziranga National Park. In south, we have the Kaziranga Karbi Anglong Elephant Reserve. It is part of the larger Kaziranga Karbi Anglong landscape within the eastern Himalayas. Now, the terrain here includes the hilly tract because of the Karbi Anglong Hills. So, the important geographical features here is the presence of the Karbi Anglong Hills and the important rivers such as the Dhansiri, Dimphu, and tributaries, which are the tributaries of Brahmaputra. The type of vegetation here includes the tropical evergreen and moist deciduous forest with hill forest, and the trees here include the sal, teak, bamboo, and cane species. Now, it is also a major stronghold for the Asiatic elephant with large migratory herds moving between Kaziranga and Karbi Anglong. So, this Kaziranga and Karbi Anglong in the south. So, this provides an important corridor. This Kaziranga Karbi Anglong Elephant Reserve provides an important corridor for the migration of the herds of elephants between the Kaziranga and Karbi Anglong landscapes. The other mammals here includes the tigers, leopards, sambar, barking deer, and wild boar. It was declared an elephant reserve in the year 2003 under Project Elephant and provides a crucial wildlife corridor between Kaziranga National Park in the floodplains and the Karbi Anglong Hills uplands. Okay, and it acts as a climate refuge for animals during the Brahmaputra floods when wildlife from Kaziranga moves to Karbi Anglong Hills. So, Brahmaputra is a very mighty river, and every monsoon it swells, okay, and it floods its banks. So, because of the flooding, the water floods into the Kaziranga National Park, which lies in the floodplains of the Brahmaputra River. So when it floods, the animals they migrate to the higher regions. And what are the higher regions? That is the higher regions of these Karbi Anglong Hills. And the local ethnic presence here includes the Karbi and the Dimasa tribes. Then we have the Dhansiri Langding Elephant Reserve. It is also situated in the Karbi Anglong and the Golaghat district of Assam and lies along the Assam Nagaland border. So here we have state of Nagaland. and the adjoining forest of Nagaland. It is named after the Dhansiri River, which is a tributary of the Brahmaputra. Okay, so it is also associated with the Dhansiri River. Okay, so discussing about the geographical features. So major river is the Dhansiri River, and the terrain is the tropical hill forest because of the presence of the Karbi Anglong hills. The type of vegetation here includes the tropical semi-evergreen forest and moist deciduous forest, and the trees that are found here are the sal, teak, bamboo, and cane. Now it is known for the Asiatic elephants because it is an elephant reserve, forming a part of the migration corridor between Assam and Nagaland. Okay, so here we have state of Nagaland, and for the elephant population to move between these two states, that is Assam and Nagaland, this Dhansiri Lungding Elephant Reserve makes a ideal migration corridor. The other mammals that live in this elephant reserve includes the tiger, leopard, sambar, barking bear, and wild boar. It was declared an elephant reserve in year 2003 under Project Elephant and provides an important transboundary elephant corridor between Assam and Nagaland and plays a key role in reducing the human-elephant conflict in Golghat and as well as the Karbi Anglong areas. Now, the important tribal communities or the ethnic groups here are the Karbi, Dimasa, and the Naga tribal group. Then we have the final important environmental site in the state of Assam, that is the Chirang Ripu Elephant Reserve. It is situated in the Chirang and the Kokrajhar district of Assam and lies along the Indo-Bhutan border. So here we have the country of Bhutan, and it adjoins the Royal Manas National Park in Bhutan. So in Bhutan, on the Bhutanese side, we have Royal Manas National Park, and it is part of the Greater Manas Tiger Reserve landscape. The geographical features here includes the alluvial floodplains, and the major rivers here is the Manas River. So the important geographical feature is the Manas River and the Sankosh River. The terrain is the flat floodplains merging with the Himalayan foothills. So in the north we have the Himalayan foothills, and in the south we have the flat floodplains of these rivers like the Manas as well as the Sankosh. The type of vegetation that includes the tropical moist deciduous forest and semi-evergreen and riverine forest. It is also known for a large Asiatic elephant herds. And the other mammals include the tiger, leopard, clouded leopard, golden langur, hog deer, wild buffalo. The birds include the Bengal florican, hornbills, fishing, eagles, and swamp francolin. It was declared an elephant reserve in 2003 under Project Elephant. So all the elephant reserves in the state of Assam were declared in the initial phase itself. That is when the Project Elephant was launched in 2003. Then only all these 4 elephant reserves were declared. It provides a transboundary corridor for elephant migration between Assam and Bhutan, and it is integral to the Manas Biosphere Reserve. So this Manas Biosphere Reserve encompasses of the Manas Tiger Reserve, the Chirang Ripu Elephant Reserve, as well as the Raimona National Park. The local communities here includes the Bodo tribes along with Assamese and Nepalese settlers in the